one observes clearly that constant effort does damage the brain. Constant struggle, all that. And also this mechanical movement, which implies practice, all that, which purely becomes mechanical, which is called meditation and so on. So, we found two factors. And also we said the major factor may be the whole movement of thought and its action. And we asked, why has thought become so important? Using up such tremendous energy, night and day, the images, the ideals, sexual images, and so on, so on, so on, which is all the movement of thought, all the time. Anger, bitterness, aggressiveness, saying you're wrong, I'm right, and the battle that goes on. Why has thought become so enormously important? Just means, which apparently doesn't seem to end at all. You understand? Of course. So, is there an ending, you follow, sir? To end something is to release energy, not in any to release energy. This is too much for me. I want to go on, but apparently. Do we recognize, sir, the one central factor, that thought is in motion, is in movement from the moment you wake up till you sleep, and when you sleep it is there all the time. And so it may be mechanical. So thought is mechanical. Therefore, it's factor that is a deteriorating factor. So, do we recognize, do we see the fact that thought is mechanical?
It seems there's more to it. This constant thinking feeds those forces which motivate the thinking itself, such as vanity, greed.
We said that, sir. What is the motive? We said that, sir. We asked, what is the motive of this constant thinking? Motive means movement. In a direction or no direction. Motive means, actually, the meaning of the word is a movement. We've been through all this. I am asking, as long as this brain, our brain, has become mechanical, that may be the major factor of deterioration. That mechanical process is thought. And thought is mechanical. Do we see that? You may invent the most marvelous engines, that is still the movement of thought. You may sit and close your eyes and think about God, it is still mechanical. Or you may say, I will practice, I will sit quietly, I will surrender myself to somebody with a beard or non-beard, and that's also mechanical. So, any movement of thought is mechanical. And we are saying that is the essence of deterioration. But that makes us struggle, right? We are competitive. We want to reach, we want to attain, we want to become a success, which is all the movement of thought, identification, and so on, so on. So thought is the very essence of deterioration of a brain. Huh? Thought is me.
But is it not possible that there is, within the field of thought, another area where thought is organic and living? Is thought generally just mechanical?
So that means we have to go into the question of what is thought? What is thought? If you had no memory, you wouldn't be able to think. Memory is the accumulation of experience as knowledge, right? That's obvious. No? Please, this is, even the most profound scientist says this. So please accept it. If you want to accept the specialists. But you can observe your own brain in operation. So, if that is so, then what is one to do? You understand? Any movement of thought deteriorates the brain. Any movement. Right? Huh? Go on.
How can we live without thinking?
How can we live without thinking? We have been through all this, I'll tell you. That means listen to, find out. Listen with care, with affection, with not saying, well, I've heard this before. And you say, and if you have heard it before and I repeat it again, you say, I'm bored. But if you have listened, tested, acted, found out, you will never be bored. That every time you see, you test it, there's something new taking place. And if you merely say, yes, I understand you have said so and so, and you're repeating yourself, I'm bored, or semi-bored, which means you have not tested it. You have not experimented, looked, gone into it. And if you discover something, you want to go into it more and more and more and more. There's never a moment of boredom. It's like those research people. They're never bored. They're at it from morning till night because they want to discover something new. When we are confronted with this enormous complex problem, which is that thought in its very nature and structure is the major factor of the deterioration of the brain, from that you ask, what is one to do? Right? Please listen. Who is asking this question? Thought is asking that question. Right? So, as long as you ask the question, which is, thought says, what am I to do? Then thought says, I must find an action which will get rid of my routine, my mechanical process. How am I to stop thinking? I can't. In life, I must think. Of course you must think. Otherwise you won't be here and I won't be here. So, as long as thought has any form of movement, whatever it does will be a factor of deterioration of the brain. Now, if you really understand that, really see the truth of it, you're finished. Then you have placed thought in its right place, which is thought being the outcome of knowledge, memory, experience. Thought is necessary to drive a car, to take a bus, to go home, to go to the factory. But thought, if the brain realizes that thought is the factor that is making it deteriorate, then it says, all right, I've understood this. I've got it. Then we can go into much deeper thing. You follow? Now we are all surface. So there is the positive action of thought, to which we are all accustomed to, is the factor of deterioration. The non-action of thought, which is thought leaving its right place, then the brain can never deteriorate.